Karen Review, Print Speaking to the Blind, celebrating 40 years of audio newspaper production. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast, recorded at the Bishopbriggs Media Centre by our amazing volunteers. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram using @KuenReview. That is @CuenDrevieu. You can also contact us directly by emailing information at kuenreview.com. That is INFORMATION@CuenDrevieu.com, or by calling 0141 772 3976. That's 0141 772 3976.
This week's Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald podcast, dated Wednesday the 13th of September 2023, has been read to you by Corey, Hunter, Ian and Rebecca. Speaking up over closures, it is completely unacceptable for people in East Dunbartonshire to have no access to everyday banking services. That's a clear message from the area's MP, who demanded more from Parliament during a debate in the House of Commons. Amy Callaghan led the conversation last week after Virgin Money, Barclays and Bank of Scotland all closed branches across East Dunbartonshire in recent years. It also follows the closure of post office branches in the area, which were supposed to mitigate the impact of bank closures. Speaking to the Herald after her Westminster debate, Ms Callaghan said, "More must be done to give locals, especially the vulnerable, traditional key services." She said, "These are private companies, and there is only so much I can do to persuade them to keep branches open. That is why I led the debate today in Westminster, because the UK government does have the power and responsibility to intervene to prevent more closures. But, as we see on far too many issues, Tory ministers refuse to lift a finger. In doing so, they are letting down people in East Dunbartonshire and communities across Scotland who have been left without access to key services during the cost of living crisis. It's so important vulnerable people and those who lack the means to bank over the internet can access the same services as everyone else. Unlike the UK government, I will continue to stand up for people in East Dunbartonshire and fight for banking services to remain in our communities." Ms Callaghan met with bank bosses at the time of their closures, and the local MP has continued to be vocal in her opposition to the closures, raising this issue on a number of occasions with the UK government. Justifying the branch closures, each bank pointed to a continuation of some services through the local post offices, although that is a position Ms Callaghan described as unsustainable following recent post office closures. During the debate, led by Ms Callaghan, the East Dunbartonshire MP warned closures were leaving tens of thousands of vulnerable people without access to key banking services during a brutal cost of living crisis, where many are relying on financial advice and support, and she called on the UK government to intervene to prevent closures. The Douglas Street branch of the Milngavie Post Office closed its doors in July, following the resignation of its temporary postmaster, leaving many in the community without vital services. That saw them being turned away to post offices in neighbouring towns. Ms Callaghan has been previously outspoken on local closures, calling on the UK government to properly fund the post office to ensure long-term security for postal services and subsidise banking facilities. Ms Callaghan added, "This is completely unacceptable. Banks have a responsibility to support their more vulnerable customers." On her Facebook page following the debate, she posted, "Banks keep closing their branches. Bank of Scotland in Bearsden, Barclays in Kirkintilloch, Virgin Money in Milngavie, all gone. After each announcement closure, I get floods of emails from people concerned about how to access their money and get advice. So I led a debate on bank branch closures yesterday. The UK government must incentivise banks to keep local branches open. Banks are making record profits. There's no excuse for these closures. These are vital local services for older and vulnerable residents. It doesn't have to be this way. Scotland's banks would be safer in Scotland's hands. Backing Vital Dog Charity. Former broadcaster Carol Smiley has urged the public to back a vital Lennoxtown charity. Bravehound works across Scotland, matching its specially trained dogs with veterans struggling with post-traumatic service disorder, PTSD. Supporting former members of all three branches of the armed forces, the specially trained poochies also help those struggling with physical disabilities as a result of their service. Now dog lover Carol is asking people to support the charity's Back a Bravehound appeal. She told the Herald, "I know just how much a dog can bring to your life, but the contribution Bravehound's assistant dogs make to the lives of veterans is immeasurable. That's why I'm supporting this campaign." Last week, the charity launched a campaign to raise £10,000 in 2 months to enable funding for its next dog. The organisation's assistant dogs are carefully trained to respond to the needs of their veterans by identifying and interrupting flashbacks and nightmares, fetching medication, alerting passers-by to get help, or putting themselves in the way of someone who approaches to protect a veteran's physical space. For many, these animals are the difference between life and death. Former Staff Sergeant Scott McCaig joined the military straight from school at the age of 16 and, during his 27 years served in places like Bosnia, Kosovo, Iraq and Afghanistan, before being medically discharged in July 2016 after being diagnosed with acute PTSD. A Bravehound service user, Scott started to feel unwell in February 2003 after being deployed to Kuwait, but stayed the course and completed 3 further tours in Afghanistan before a serious incident saw him removed from the theatre. That led to an attempt on his life before contacting Bravehound for help. He was matched with assistant dog, Paisley, a golden retriever, in November 2021, and since then the two have been inseparable. Scott explained, "There are things I've seen that don't leave you. I've had 2 flashbacks in my sleep where I've been experiencing sights, sounds, smells, vivid dreams that I'm back somewhere I shouldn't be. On those occasions, I felt that there was a weighted blanket on my chest, which was Paisley. She brought me out of flashbacks and was lying on top of me, looking in my face with her head on my chest. That's just one of the things Paisley does for me. Before Paisley arrived, I couldn't leave the house or interact with my own family or others. Bravehound has helped me to get my life back." You can back the charity at crowdfunder.co.uk/p/back-a-bravehound. And that article was read by me, Ian McKenna. This week in history. September the 14th, 1982, Princess Grace of Monaco, sometimes better known as American actress Grace Kelly, died in Monaco's hospital without regaining consciousness after a car crash the previous day. On this day last year, the Queen's coffin was due to be taken from Buckingham Palace to Westminster Hall to lie in state until morning of her funeral on September the 19th. September the 15th, 1974, civil war broke out in Beirut between Christians and Muslims. September 16th, 1963, Malaysia became independent and a mob celebrated by burning down the British Embassy. September 17th, 1961, one of London's biggest ban the bomb demos ended with 830 arrested, including actress Vanessa Redgrave and playwright Joan Osborne. On this day last year, cheetahs were flown from South Africa to India, where they were declared extinct in 1952, as part of efforts to reintroduce the cats in regions where their population had dwindled. September 18th, 1976. In China, 800 million citizens paid a last tribute to their leader, Mao Zedong, at the beginning of a memorial service. For 3 minutes, 1/5 of the world's population stood in silence.
Swim like champ, dunk. Young swimmers in East Dunbartonshire were given a once-in-a-lifetime swim class with Olympic, World and Commonwealth champion Duncan Scott. Helping to mark Learn to Swim Month, LTS, Duncan made a splash at the Leisure-Dome in Bishopbriggs to celebrate EDLC being recognised as the latest leisure trust to deliver the national LTS framework, a partnership between Scottish Swimming and Scottish Water. More than 110 local swimmers from preschool age upwards and 7 LTS teachers joined Duncan, who also crowned the local Swimmer of the Month. The event not only left the next generation inspired, but provided passionate local swimming teachers the opportunity to teach beside one of Scotland's top athletes. Duncan said, "It's fantastic to see EDLC Trust joining and providing the LTS programme and to see so many passionate kids learning how to stay safe in the water." LTS Month is a key time to recognise the vital community hubs that teach children all over the country the life skill of learning to swim. So many lives would be put at risk if it wasn't for lessons like these. It's been inspiring seeing so many budding swimmers today. LTS Month runs throughout September and aims to emphasise the importance of water safety, education and the joy of swimming for individuals of all ages and abilities. Duncan is joined in his ambassadorship by world champion and Paralympic medalist Tony Shaw. Having such prominent athletes spearheading the initiative has helped inspire more than 1,800 children in East Dunbartonshire to get into the pool and increase their confidence. EDLC Trust hopes the LTS programme can grow and encourage children to keep fit and healthy and socialise while stressing the importance of water safety. Trust Chairman Jim Neal said, "It was wonderful to welcome Duncan to the Leisure-Dome. He is an inspiration and our young people were thrilled to have the opportunity to meet him and to learn from him. We're very fortunate to have a swim team of highly dedicated swimming instructors and I'd like to thank them for all their hard work in delivering excellent swimming programmes." Read by Rebecca.
Learning to Swim as recorded by Hunter MacDonald. The LTS framework has already provided lessons to more than 100,000 children and aims to reach another 100,000 children by 2025. EDLC Trust hope to add to the current examples of positive impacts the LTS framework is having on young swimmers in the local area. Ali Wyke, Director of Aquatics of Scottish Swimming, said, "It's a priority to get children comfortable and safe in the water. The more familiar they are with the aquatic environment, the better. We hope having Duncan leading from the front will inspire the next generation to embrace opportunities in the water, whether socially or professionally, and will help continue encouraging more children to get in the pool in communities across Scotland. For more information, head to edlc.co.uk/sport-leisure/swimming/get-involved. Child Healthcare Manual circulated. East Dunbartonshire Council will distribute an updated manual on supporting the healthcare needs of children to its early years centres and schools. The Council's Education Committee has approved the rollout of a new guidance manual intended to help formulate policies at education establishments across the authority area. Its rollout was confirmed recently. Changes in this latest version include new procedures for supporting schools where children are taking medicine, recording which staff are appropriately qualified to administer medicines, advice on hygiene and safety measures for school trips and work or vocational placements. Other topics covered in the new manual include emergency procedures, spells out how medicine should be stored or disposed of, training, health and wellbeing assistance, including school policies, a new healthcare plan for individual children and the support structure provided by health services. A new staff position has also been created for a health and wellbeing assistant who will focus on more complex medical requirements within mainstream and additional support needs schools. The new manual was unanimously approved by the committee. You can find out more about the manual at the Council's education page online, eastdunbarton.gov.uk/residents/schools-and-learning. Strike action. Unite the Union has confirmed that around 500 frontline Scottish water workers are to strike in an escalating dispute over a new grading structure and pay. A consultative ballot result indicated 92% of members supported strike action at Scottish Water on a high turnout of 84%. Unite further confirmed it will now imminently hold an industrial action ballot involving the key frontline workers. The union directly accused Scottish Water bosses of bypassing long-standing collective bargaining process involving recognised trade unions. The ballot result comes as it was revealed the new chief executive earned a reported annual salary of £295,000, £25,000 higher than his predecessor. Unite say this is also £50,000 above the Scottish Government's public sector pay rule. Marking Emergency Services Day. Deputy Provost Colette McDermott met with local blue light workers to mark this year's 999 Emergency Services Day. Launched in 2018, the National Day of Tribute is now an annual fixture celebrating its emergency personnel and remembering those killed in the line of duty. It begins at 9 a.m. on Saturday 9th of September. To represent the 9th hour of the 9th day of the 9th month, Deputy Provost McDermott was joined by Group Commander David Moore from the Scottish Fire and Rescue Service, Community Inspector Alan Ferris from Police Scotland and Paramedic Team Leader Gordon Barclay from the Scottish Ambulance Service.
A dent in operations. Scotland's top cop has praised her staff after they seized millions of pounds worth of illegal drugs in the second quarter of the year. Police Scotland's effort to disrupt serious organised crime continues, and that saw huge quantities of drugs and drugs-related money and paraphernalia captured by officers. Detective Chief Superintendent Vicky Watson praised her staff for their work. She said, "We are all too aware of the terrible toll of drugs deaths in Scotland. Police Scotland has a vital role in preventing illicit drugs reaching our streets and disrupting the nefarious activities of those engaged in serious organised criminality." The ongoing activity described in the performance report underlines our commitment to reducing the harm caused to individuals, families and communities. The encouraging figures underline that those working in partnership to deliver the country's serious organised crime strategy continue to have a considerable impact on these illegal activities and are contributing to helping keep our communities safe. These seizures will undoubtedly have a massive negative effect on the activities of those involved. Proactive action by officers between April and June 2023 saw millions of pounds worth of illegal drugs recovered, including cannabis, cocaine, heroin and street Valium tablets. As well as seizures, a number of arrests were made also. Activity between April and June 2023 included hundreds of thousands of street Valium tablets, including etylozam and bromalizam, being seized in the Glasgow area. At least 200,000 were recovered during the operations here, 160,000 in Lanarkshire, and more than 30,000 in the Renfrewshire and Inverclyde area. There was almost 50,000 in the Lothians and Scottish borders. Activity elsewhere saw around £425,000 of illegal drugs and £20,000 in cash were seized in the Inverness area. This led to the conviction and sentencing of 3 men to between 2 and 5 years in prison. Meanwhile, activity by officers saw 7 men and 3 women arrested in the Scottish borders. Officers in Ayrshire also recovered a cannabis cultivation estimated at £2 million. War on drugs was national. Activity by specialist and plainclothes officers resulted in a number of other fines and convictions. officers executed a warrant at a property in High Street, Dumfries, where they recovered cannabis plants with an estimated street value of £261,000. Cannabis plants worth £740,000 were also seized following an operation in Kirkcaldy. Officers executing warrants at a number of addresses in Aberdeen and Liverpool as part of a county lines investigation recovered heroin, cocaine and crack cocaine with an estimated street value in excess of £115,000. Meanwhile, in Glenrothes, a 21-year-old man was arrested and charged after Class A drugs with an estimated street value of £400,000 were recovered. Anyone with any information or concerns about drugs activity should contact police on 101. Information can be left anonymously via Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. That's Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111.
Advice from cops. As well as encouraging businesses to sign up for the Trusted Trader Scheme, Inspector Alan Ferris also issued advice to customers regarding doorstep crime. Based at Kirkintilloch Police Station, Inspector Ferris told us, rogue traders and bogus callers can be difficult to distinguish from legitimate service providers. They can persuade householders to part with large sums of money by starting out cheaper than competitors and then falsely claiming urgent, more expensive work is needed. This often requires a reputable trader to come in and repair badly done or incomplete work. Advice includes never allow anyone you're not expecting into your home, never agreeing to pay up front for work, not feeling pressured into making decisions quickly, allowing research of a trader's business.
Sepsis Awareness Month. Make sure your voice is heard. To mark Sepsis Awareness Month in September, an ambitious survey has been launched which will give patients, carers and health and social care professionals the unique opportunity to have their voices heard. Jointly heralded by Sepsis Research FEAT, the UK's leading sepsis research charity, and the James Line Alliance JLA, it has been billed as a once-in-a-generation chance to direct the future of sepsis research. Sepsis takes the lives of around 5 people every hour in the UK. It occurs when the body's response to an infection spirals rapidly out of control, injuring its own tissues and organs, which can result in multiple organ failure and death. The results of their survey, which was launched on World Sepsis Day, September 13th, will be used to determine the top 10 priorities for sepsis research over the next decade. These, in turn, will be used to inform further initiatives and funding from sepsis research FEAT, including areas of research, policy changes or educational initiatives that can be implemented to improve the patient outcomes. The survey is available at www.sepsisresearch.org.uk and will be emailed out to those in the Sepsis Research FEAT database. Colin Graham, the charity's Chief Operating Officer, said, "Sepsis is the number one cause of preventable death in the world and often has life-changing consequences for survivors. Our purpose as a charity are to raise funds for research into sepsis and to raise awareness of this brutal and often life-threatening condition. Sepsis Awareness Month helps us do that by educating more people about the symptoms of sepsis so they can recognise them quickly and act fast to get treatment. This year, Sepsis Awareness Month is more important than ever, as the survey findings will present an unrivalled opportunity for us to chart the course of sepsis research over the next 10 years and ultimately help to save more lives. This is an unprecedented opportunity for those who have been affected by sepsis to make their voices heard and to contribute to the direction of sepsis research for the future." Dr. Bronwyn Connolly from Queen's University Belfast is one of 3 clinical co-leads for the project. She said, "Sepsis is a devastating condition with widespread consequences for patients and their families. This study is incredibly important because there are still so many unanswered questions about sepsis for clinicians and researchers. With limited research funding available, it's simply not possible to research every topic within sepsis spectrum, so having these survey results to direct our focus for the next 10 years will ensure we are prioritising what is most important to those whose lives have been affected. Sepsis Research FEAT is the only UK charity dedicated to supporting research to identify treatments, while also working to raise awareness. To find out more, visit www.sepsisresearch.org.uk. In Fiona's memory, Sepsis Research FEAT is commemorating its 10th anniversary in 2023. It was founded by Craig Stobbo in memory of his wife, Bowness GP Dr Fiona Agnew, and their unborn daughter, Isla, who died from sepsis in August 2012. Craig founded the Fiona Elizabeth Agnew Trust, FEAT, in May 2013 in a bid to raise awareness. It has since secured a public information campaign with the Scottish Government to ensure people know the 5 key symptoms: confusion, not passing as much urine as normal, a very high or low temperature, uncontrolled shivering, and cold or blotchy arms and legs. If you would like to donate, visit www.sepsisresearch.org.uk/donate. Performance is being affected by complex demand. Increasing and increasingly complex demand, along with a reduction in officers and staff, is having a detrimental effect on Police Scotland's performance. So says a report which was presented to the Scottish Police Authority on Tuesday. Deputy Chief Constable Alan Spears said, "Police Scotland's funding allocation this year represents a real-term reduction and, as a result, the number of police officers has reduced to around 16,600. This is a challenging time for our officers and staff. They are being asked to respond to increasingly complex community and individual needs, which is evidenced by a higher number of calls to Police Scotland." The performance report for April to June this year also showed the service received around 600,000 calls with over 420,000 incidents recorded. DCC Spears added, "The report also makes clear that combating cybercrimes, such as online child sexual abuse, poses extremely significant challenges, and the vast majority of frauds have an online or cyber element. Our Placing in a Digital World programme supports our commitment to keeping people safe wherever they live and work. Hard choices are being taken to maintain effective policing within the funding available. Action is being taken to achieve savings. However, areas which encounter the greatest demand and which carry the greatest risk in keeping people safe are being prioritised for resources to ensure policing continues to address harm and protect the vulnerable." Although the challenges facing Police Scotland should not be underestimated, the report also highlights that officers continue to provide effective policing to communities across the country every day. DCC Spears added, "All 17 homicides recorded in the first 3 months of 2023-24 were detected. Our proactive action to disrupt the activities of those involved in serious organised criminality is welcomed. During the reporting period, millions of pounds worth of illegal drugs, including street Valium tablets, were seized. The number of attempted murders and serious assaults has also seen a decrease."
Journey in Education. The Royal Highland Education Trust, RHET, has launched a new programme for schools, The Journey of Food, Sheep and Wool. From now until the end of June next year, RHET will provide a variety of free educational experiences for Scottish school pupils. They will focus on the important role sheep, lamb and the uses of wool play in our economy and communities. Lamb production is woven into our culture and history, from the drovers of years ago to modern-day mixed farming. The highlight of the calendar is the week-long online Talk to Farmers event in March 2024, when over 5,000 children are expected to join live and have a chance to chat with some of the wonderful volunteers about their work. All resources are free. Teachers can register at www.rhet.org.uk/teachers/the journey of food, sheep and wool.
Men's Sheds toast £20,000 boost for Scottish group. The Scottish Men's Sheds Association has secured more than £20,000 from the Bank of Scotland's Foundation's REACH programme. This will enable the National Support Hub for Men's Sheds across Scotland to retain its development officer and support more men across Scotland to improve men's health and well-being. The thriving Men's Health membership organisation boasts more than 3,400 individual members, 148 Men's Shed group members, and estimates that the movement voluntarily engages over 10,000 people across Scotland. Founded in 2014, the SMSA exists to inspire and empower men over the age of 18, with time in their hands, to become voluntarily engaged in their communities through creating and or attending their own men's sheds to mitigate social isolation, loneliness and boredom. Jason Schroeder, SMSA Chief Executive Officer, said, "We are absolutely delighted to have secured funding to continue providing one-to-one localised support to Scottish men's sheds on their journey to sustainability and help create new sheds in communities where there is identified need, disadvantage and social exclusion. Due to our prior trial success of having a development officer on the ground, meeting face-to-face with men's sheds in a post-COVID world, this grant will enable us to further this work and extend our reach across Scotland to empower men to engage with sheds as part of an active, healthy pathway. This grant contributes towards a fully funded and permanent dedicated SMSA Development Officer post for the next year and is vital to our work in achieving our outcomes." Donald McKechnie, Chair of the Foundation's Board of Trustees and Insurance and Wealth Transformation and Strategy Director, Lloyd's Backing Group, said he was delighted to award the organisation with funding of £20,526. He added, "The cost of living crisis means many charities are struggling with increasing expenditure at a time when the demand for their services is as great as ever. Our grant awards will help charities through the challenging months ahead." Find your local Scottish Men's Shed at www.scottishmsa.org/find-a-shed.
Family announcements. Deaths: McNeil, Patricia Mary, Pat. Peacefully at home with her family at her bedside on September 5th, 2023. Pat, beloved wife of the late Bill, much-loved mother of Stuart and Fraser, loving grandmother to Duncan and Harrison, a dear aunt and mother-in-law. Service of Thanksgiving to take place at Lindsay Old Parish Church on Wednesday, September 27th at 2 p.m, following a family cremation. Attendees welcome to wear a splash of colour. Fraser and family would like to thank East Dunbartonshire home care staff, district nurses and Marie Curie nurses and staff for their compassionate and tender care. Family flowers only. Donations to Marie Curie welcome.
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald letters page. Let's talk. Please send your letters via email to kirkyherald@gnscotland.co.uk and write letters in the subject field. Please keep letters to a maximum of 300 words. Letters cannot be published without a name and postal address. Also include a daytime phone number if possible. We reserve the right to edit any letter. Mad Hatter USAS Tea Party. Sir, a new CEO isn't going to breathe new life into a rapidly declining SNP, no matter how well he can communicate. No well-spun words can conceal the fact the SNP is well past its sell-by date, or that Humza Yousaf is a lightweight liability who, like his predecessor, would rather focus on unachievable independence than getting down to the real job of effective governance for Scots, a majority of whom have no interest whatsoever in leaving the United Kingdom. To treat the electorate as fools, whether deliberately or inadvertently, is, as Yousaf is finding out, the surest way to be shown the door. Now he claims his support for independence has never been stronger. More like the Mad Hatter's Tea Party, the First Minister verbally runs hither and thither, bumping into the White Rabbit coming in the opposite direction. Yours, etc., Doug Morrison, by email. What's Gaelic for shut for business? Sir, I find it difficult to believe that a government of any kind, even one as clueless as the SNP/Green Coalition, can be as thoroughly inept as they are, but they are. Their fishing policy was seen to be likely to destroy Scotland's fishing industry and had to be pulled. Then, the DRS, Deposit Return Scheme, has been seen as an attack on small corner shops, as well as a covert attack on the UK, thereby exceeding the powers of the Scottish Parliament. It had to be abandoned, as it would have driven small shops to the wall. The next policy that has shown itself to be totally inept is the MUP, minimum pricing of alcohol, which was statistically misrepresented in its consequences, and has presided over even more deaths from drink. At the same time, deaths from drugs in Scotland continue to exceed those in any other country in Europe. Don't even mention the Gender Recognition Bill. The tourist industry accounts for 7% of Scotland's employment, and the SNP's policy on short-term lets is likely to end the availability of places for tourists to stay where they are here, so forget those jobs. Out of 32,000 short-term let providers, only 2,587 had signed up by late March, and, of 12,000 such lets in Edinburgh, there have been 90 applications. In Glasgow, the figure was only 78. Perhaps the SNP should erect a sign at the border saying, "Scotland is closed for business. Go away." In Gaelic, naturally. Yours, etc., Andrew H. N. Gray. Address supplied. In the dark. Sir, Scottish Tory leader Douglas Ross giving economic advice to Scotland is lunacy. We'd be crazy to let the Tories continue their wrecking ball policies by electing even more of them in Scotland. This is a party that brought us over a decade of austerity that has gutted public services, increased poverty, exacerbated inequality, and ejected us from the world's largest single market, making the UK the economic basket case it is today. Sadly, Labour won't act differently since it has adopted the same execrable policies. And both parties are adamantly opposed to Scottish self-determination because they know that, freed from the UK's shackles, we would prosper. The UK needs Scotland's resources and revenues. We have been propping up the UK economy for 120 years. From 1900 to 1921, the UK government produced accounts, revenue and expenditure for England, including Wales, Scotland and Ireland. During this period, Scotland provided the UK Treasury with £762.3 million and received back just £211 million, or 27.7%. Converted from 1911 prices, this is equivalent to £2.5 billion a year, more than the £1.5 billion oil-rich Scotland sent to Westminster between 1979 and 97. Ross and the UK establishment are keen to keep Scots in the dark about their wealth and how it is keeping a sinking UK afloat. It's time we opened our eyes because we're being robbed blind. Yours, etc., Leah Gunn Barrett, by email. Full Baldrick. Sir, Theresa May, in her new book, The Abuse of Power, blames the failings of her partnership on everyone but herself. Instead, Boris Johnson, Jacob Rees-Mogg, Jeremy Corbyn and even John Bercow were responsible for her cunning plans going the full Baldrick. Clearly, time has afforded her the opportunity for dispassionate reflection and humility rather than falling victim to self-pity and ego, and I now look forward to reading what ineptitude she lays at the paws of Larry the cat. Yours, etc., Mark Boyle. Address supplied. folk encouraged to celebrate our music. Musicians and community groups are set to participate in the first Scottish Folk Day on Saturday, September the 23rd. The aim of the event is to help promote and celebrate the country's vibrant and varied folk scenes and traditions. An exciting new project, it has called for musicians of all backgrounds and abilities across Scotland to stage live performances and workshops throughout the day in what will be a countrywide celebration of folk music and culture. Organised by Scotland's Traditional Music Forum, TMF, Scottish Folk Day is running in tandem with European Folk Day, which has been conceived and coordinated by the European Folk Network. The initiative aims to offer a networking platform for musicians and artists at all levels to showcase their talents, while giving folk fans across Scotland and Europe the opportunity to connect with a wider, like-minded community. Groups and individuals, from South Lanarkshire to Stornoway, have responded to the call and are set to put on come and try workshops, sessions and performances to mark the inaugural cultural celebration. David Francis, Traditional Music Forum Director, said, "It has been brilliant to see such enthusiasm from artists, schools and communities across the country to get involved in the first ever Scottish Folk Day. The passion and eagerness of musicians, clubs and community groups to participate and network together is a testament to our love of it and appreciation of folk music as a country. All of us at TMF can't wait to see what is staged on Saturday, September 23rd, and we are so thankful for their support of the initiative. There are also plenty of opportunities for beginners and improvers to get involved in the day. The Edinburgh branch of the Clarsach Society is inviting Clarsach players, friends and families to join them for an afternoon of music at St John's Collington Mains Church. Sessions will also be storming bars and venues the length and breadth of the country. Concerts include vocalist and fiddle player Marie McGilvery and guitarist and fiddle player Katie Allen performing a selection of traditional tunes, including Gaelic and Scots favourites, at Edinburgh's Holy Cross Church. Award-winning Edinburgh roots duo Duwally will mark the day with a performance at the Scottish Storytelling Centre, while Glasgow Royal Concert Hall will host contemporary folk duo Juliet Lemoyne and Nicky Murray for a dementia-friendly afternoon concert. Award-winning singer Hannah Rarity is to put on a special show at the Travers Theatre at 8 p.m. on September 25th. Hannah has made a lasting impression since winning the BBC Young Traditional Musician of the Year 2018 and recording and touring with top acts Blazing Fiddles, Rura, Nightworks and Cherish the Ladies. It's not just musicians and clubs who are getting involved in the event, however. All folk fans are encouraged to record and share a musical performance online using the hashtags Scottish Folk Day and hashtag European Folk Day. For further information on how to get involved, visit www.europeanfolkday.eu. Orchestrating our stars of the future. Young musicians across Scotland are being invited to apply for the National Youth Orchestra of Scotland 2024 programme. It is a chance for talented youngsters to develop their musical skills and experience within a welcoming community of like-minded peers and to learn from world-class professional musicians. Kirstine Davidson-Kelly, NYOS Chief Executive and Artistic Director, has refocused the classical music pathway to engage more young people across the country. The changes follow a year-long strategic review to explore how NYOS can best nurture the young's next generation of musical talent. Kirstine said, NYOS is committed to diversifying its community, its musical content and its geographic reach. NYOS Engage, launched this year, is a major new initiative to connect more young people from across Scotland with the social and personal benefits of ensemble music making and with NYOS. By refocusing our classical music pathway, we aim to meet more of Scotland's young people where they are and to nurture a diverse, creative and forward-thinking community of outstanding musicians. Applications are open to young people who were born, live or study in Scotland, or who have a family link with the country. For full details, guidelines, information on additions and to apply for a place, visit www.nyos.co.uk/classical-applicants. In 2023, 31% of NYOS members were granted free or reduced price places, with additional support awarded to cover transport costs. For more information, go to www.nyos.co.uk/financial-assistance. That's www.nyos.co.uk/financial-assistance.
Funding to help youngsters take action. The Energy Saving Trust Foundation, with support from Airbnb, has announced the launch of the next grant for its Youth Climate Action Fund. Charities and organisations facilitating youth-led projects focused on empowering young people to take action on the climate emergency are invited to apply. In particular, the fund aims to support organisations working with young people experiencing inequality, helping to provide resources that they may not otherwise have access to, and enable them to take meaningful action. Eligible organisations can apply for grants up to £40,000, which will be received over 2 years. To be eligible to apply, an organisation must have an annual income of less than £1 million and be based in Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales or the north of England. Jim Metcalfe, the Foundation's Board of Trustees Chairman, said, "We want young people to feel more confident about taking action to address the climate emergency and making their voices heard. We encourage organisations to think creativity and embracing new approaches to make climate change relevant, accessible and engaging to young minds. The next round of funding will support organisations with a wide range of initiatives, such as practical environmental work, carbon reduction, education and awareness programmes, or advocacy and campaigning. The deadline for applications is October 27, with awards announced in December. To apply, visit https://energysavingtrust.org.uk.
Together, we're beating cancer. Some 80,600 deaths have been avoided in Scotland since the 1990s due to advances in cancer prevention, diagnosis and treatment. According to new data from Cancer Research UK, cancer mortality rates in Scotland have fallen by 20% over the last 3 decades, after peaking for both men and women in 1993. The figures, which paint a picture of 30 years of progress in cancer research, have been released to coincide with the launch of the charity's new awareness and fundraising campaign, Together We Are Beating Cancer. Featuring billboards and posters, it showcases heartwarming moments, such as birthdays and anniversaries, that research is making possible for people affected by cancer right now. Claire Ann Thompson of Dalkeith was chosen to kick off the new campaign in Scotland. She is in remission from breast cancer after treatment, including the Herceptin and tamoxifen, both drugs which Cancer Research UK played a role in developing. Claire Ann, 43, said, "Thanks to life-saving treatment, I'm able to live my life to the full, be the best mum I can be to my daughter, and make memories with my family for a long time to come." 2 years after diagnosis, Claire Ann met and fell in love with Gary Thompson. The couple got married on April the 21st, 2018, and jetted off to Mexico on honeymoon. Just 2 months later, she was devastated when her mum, Caroline Briggs, died from pancreatic cancer just weeks after being diagnosed, aged 69. She was still grieving when she discovered she had conceived. It was a moment of pure joy when her daughter Cameron was born on September the 21st, 2018. She added, "I feel sad that Mum didn't have the chance to meet Cameron, but I see so much of my mum in her. I always believe Mum Mum brought my daughter to me. She reminds me of her so much. Now I want to do everything I can to ensure other families have more time together. Cancer Research UK scientists are behind some of the biggest breakthroughs that have helped lead to falling mortality rates. To support life-saving research, donate today at cruk.org/donate.
Hunt is on for Scotland's People. BBC Scotland is seeking nominations for Scotland's People 2023, which is presented by Jackie Bird. The heartwarming festive show celebrates people across Scotland who have gone above and beyond, unsung heroes who deserve recognition and thanks for the amazing work they do. Now the producers are in the process of finding this year's nominees and are asking readers to lend a hand. Do you know an incredible person who's gone the extra mile to help others? Someone who has an inspirational story of kindness and caring? An unsung hero who deserves recognition and thanks for the amazing work they do? If so, the producers are asking people to nominate them for Scotland's People 2023. All you have to do to nominate an unsung hero in your area is visit www.bbc.co.uk Scotland's People and follow the instructions.
Wednesday, the 13th of September. District News, Churches. St James Church, Hilton Road, Bishopbriggs. Rector Reverend Canon Paul Watson, 0141 230 4080, on Saturday, September the 16th, being the third Sunday in the month. Dads and Kids is held from 10:45 to 12 noon, and is a great chance for dads with young children to get together around some banter, bacon rolls and coffee while the kids play. On Sunday, September the 17th, there will be a Sunday club at 10:30am. There is a communion service at 11am on Thursday in the chapel, and on Sunday, September the 17th, in the chapel at 9am and at 10:30am in the church. Everyone is welcome to come along to any of the services. Do stay on for tea or coffee and fellowship afterwards. There are also other virtual services and groups. For more information, visit our social media, Facebook, St James LS Bishopbriggs, website www.stjamesbishopbriggs.org.uk. Cador Parish Church. We look forward to welcoming you this coming Sunday to our morning service, which is at 10:30am in Cador Parish Church. The service will be led by Rona Gold and Javier Jose Sendomalo, MMUS. All are welcome. Children meet in the church at 10:30am and then go to the hall for their activities. Tea and coffee served after the service. If you wish to donate to the local food bank, bring your donations of food to the church or the coffee shop. Boys Brigade, Girls Brigade and Guild have restarted. Our harvest service and dedication of the Guild is on September 17th. St David's Memorial Park Church. At St David's Memorial Park Church, the Tuesday lunchtime service has now resumed and will continue to meet every Tuesday at noon in the small hall. The first meeting of the Friendship Club after the summer break will be on Tuesday, September the 12th at 2pm. The Guild will meet on Tuesday, September the 19th at 7:30pm. Our Sunday services will be led by our local minister, Reverend Derek Pete, JAM, Jesus and Me. Our young people's group meet in the church for a short time and then in the large hall for activities suited to them. Home Church Scotland, Lammermoor Road, Kirkintilloch, G66 2AB. Home Church Kirkintilloch, Home Church East End, Carmel G32 8DP, and online. A church for all ages. Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me." Matthew chapter 19 verse 14. Sunday, September the 17th, 9:30am, communion. 10am, prayer meeting followed by refreshments. 11am to 12:30pm, worship service, children's church and creche, followed by refreshments. A warm welcome awaits you. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, Bible studies in person and on Zoom. Wednesday, Mothers and Babies 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Fridays, Craft and Coffee 10 a.m. till noon, open to all ages. Youth Fellowship 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Home radio available every day. Sunday services at Home Church East End, Carmyle, 10 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. See Facebook, Instagram and Home Church website for the latest information. Torrens Parish Church. The Sunday service is at 10:30 a.m, conducted by Reverend Stuart Irwin. During the service, the youngsters meet together in the creche, junior church and FROG. To join online, go to www.torrensparishchurch.online.church. The cafe is open every Wednesday 9 a.m. to noon for tea and coffee and delicious home baking. Why not come and taste for yourself? The Girls' Brigade meet on Wednesdays 6:15 p.m. to 8:15 p.m. and the Boys' Brigades meet on Thursdays 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. P7 to S6. Our Alpha course starts on October the 2nd at 7 p.m. Come and enjoy a meal, watch a video and ask the big questions. Register at email office@tpc.org.uk. What's on www.tpc.org.uk. Lenzie Old Parish Church. Sunday worship begins in the church at 11 a.m. There is a Sunday school for children aged 3 years to P7 and focus for secondary pupils. A creche is available for children under 3. The Quilt and Craft group meet every Wednesday, 10 a.m. to noon in the session room. Thursday afternoon club restarts on Thursday, September 14th at 2 p.m. Enjoy tea and coffee and home baking followed by a game of Scrabble, Dominoes, Rummy Club or Uno. If preferred, you can sit back and chat and or do your knitting. There are books for sale and any donations go to Women's Aid. There is also a church sales table with cards, knitted baby jackets, homemade jam, chutney, etc. Time Out, the social group for ladies of all ages, meets on Monday, September the 18th at 7:45 p.m. in the church hall, where May Millward is a guest speaker on the subject of diabetes. Country dancing is on Thursday evenings at 7:30 p.m. in the church hall. Come along for fun, fitness and friendship. Kirkintilloch Church of God. At Regent Hall, Regent Street on Sunday, there will be a good news service at 4 p.m. The speaker will be Michael Johnson. All welcome. Every Wednesday, our coffee corner is open from noon to 2 p.m. for home baking and coffee. Join our friends and neighbours for a chat over coffee. For up-to-date and further information on our services, visit our website on www.regenthall.org. Jesus said, "The Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and give his life as a ransom for many." Matthew chapter 20, verse 28. St Mary's Parish Church. The service on Sunday, September the 17th, will start at 11 a.m. and be led by the Reverend Dr. Ruth Morrison. Age-related activities will be available for our young people in the church halls. After the service, tickets for the Harvest Lunch will be on sale. They cost £1 to reserve a place and then a donation on the day. Harvest Festival will take place on Sunday, October the 8th. The craft afternoon will take place from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Monday, September 18th, when Christmas will be discussed and preparations begin. Wednesday welcome will take place on Wednesday, September the 20th, from 10 a.m. to noon. Tea, coffee and home baking will be available. There will be a short service taken by the Reverend Ruth Morrison beginning at 11:30 a.m. Kenmure Parish Church. This Sunday, our Assistant Minister, Reverend Kay Gardner, leads us in our Harvest Sunday service beginning at 11 a.m. All visitors to the area are welcome to attend our Sunday morning worship. Teas and coffees and a time of fellowship follows the end of the service. Our services are live streamed on YouTube. You can find our channel by simply searching for Kenmure Bishopbriggs on YouTube. Details of all of our groups that are currently running may be found on our website kenmure-church.co.uk. To find us on Facebook, just search for Kenmure Parish Church. That's Kenmure, Kenmure, Parish Church. To join our WhatsApp group or receive Bible studies from ABC, then email us at kenmurechurch@icloud.com. Lenzie Union Parish Church. Sunday worship is at 11 a.m, read by Reverend Dan Carmichael. There is tea and coffee in the new hall after the service. Young people are also welcome to Lighthouse and Bible class. A live stream of the service is available on YouTube via our website. The meeting place opens for tea and coffee and home baking every Wednesday, 10 a.m. to noon, in the new hall. Everyone is welcome to attend. Youth Cafe, Thursdays 3:15 p.m. to 5 p.m, a place where young people can hang out, relax and have a good time after a long day at school. Each week there is a free snack, with lots of different things to do, such as games consoles, table tennis, arts and crafts, board games and more. Celebrate with us. Lenzie Union Parish Church is 150 years old. Fun Day Barbecue Saturday, September the 16th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Music, bubbleologist, games and old photos. An event for all ages. Silver Movers, the new dance exercise, starts on Monday, September the 18th from 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. in the Old Hall. This will take place on the first and third Monday of each month. Contact Claire 074 5722. Milton of Campsie Parish Church. Cafe Connect is open on Tuesday mornings. All welcome for a blether, a warm drink and a biscuit or scone. There's toys and snacks for the kids, and Wi-Fi, and at no charge, just a donation. On Wednesday, September the 13th, Time to Pray meets at 7:50 p.m. in the Eric Liddell. Come when you can, leave when you must. Then, at 7:30 p.m. that evening, in the David Livingston, the fellowship restarts with a quiz night. New members are welcome to come along. On Friday, September the 15th, at 6:15 p.m, the BB Anchor, P1 to P3, and Junior, P4 to P6, sections restart in the church centre. New boys will be made very welcome. On Sunday, our minister, Julie Moody, will leave the service at 11 a.m. We have creche for the youngest children, then the bridge, jigsaw, crossover and epic for all our young people. Join us for tea or coffee after the service. Food bank donations welcome. In the afternoon, you're encouraged to come along to the services at the Burston Care Homes, meet at 2:20 p.m. Baby and Toddlers Group meets on Mondays at 9:45 a.m. The Hobbies Club meets at 2 p.m. The Badminton Club is at 7:30 p.m. On Sunday, September 24th, we look forward to sharing a joint service in Campsie Parish Church, Lennoxtown. Follow us on Facebook or look to our website mocpc.org.uk. Springfield Cambridge Church. Worship on Sunday, September the 17th, will be conducted by Reverend Ian Taylor, assisted by our probationer Mrs. Julie Harty, in the sanctuary at 11 a.m. This service will include the dedication of the Guild and our Harvest Thanksgiving. The Sunday School meets in Room 2. There is also a creche facility where we will be happy to look after your child, birth to 3 years, in Room 2. Donations for the Harvest Thanksgiving will support the work of the Lodging House Mission and the local food bank at Colston Well Park Church. Donations may be in the form of items selected from the list, which appears in our recent magazine on our website, or monetary donations. These can be brought on Harvest Sunday or be dropped off at the church on Saturday, September 16th, between 10:30 a.m. and noon. The fundraising group are holding a coffee morning on Saturday, September the 16th, in the Cameron Hall, from 10 a.m. to noon. Tickets £5, adults, children free. Donations of home baking welcomed. Monday morning is also being live streamed. A link to this can be found on website www.springfieldcambridge.org.uk and Facebook page. There will be a vestry hour on Wednesday, September the 13th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for anyone who would like to speak with the minister. A short weekly worship service is on Wednesday, September the 13th from 11:10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. followed by tea and coffee in the Hall of Fellowship. If you have been filling your Smarty-Tube with 20p or £1 coins during the summer, then over the next few weeks it is time to return them. There will be a collection box available in the Hall of Fellowship on Sundays to deposit your donations. The 258th Glasgow Boys Brigade sections have begun their new sessions at the following times: Anchor, Boys, P1 to P3, Friday 7pm to 8pm, Junior section, P4 to P6, Thursdays 7pm to 8:30pm, Company section, P7 to S6, Thursdays 7pm to 9pm. The 65th Girls Brigade sections have begun their new session at the following times: Explorers, P1 to P3, Tuesdays 6:30pm to 7:45pm, Juniors, P4 to P7, Tuesdays 6:30pm to 7:45pm, Brigaders, S1 to S6, Tuesdays 7pm to 8:30pm. Anyone interested in joining at the above events will be very welcome. Wednesday the 13th of September, District News General. Panto calling. Would you like the opportunity to be in Kirkintilloch Players Panto? Why wouldn't you? Young people from P6 to S6 or equivalent age should come along to the Turret Theatre, 9 East Side, Kirkintilloch, G66 1PY on Tuesday, September the 26th, September at 6:30pm to find out more. Adults should come along at 7:30 that same evening for an informal read-through and to get details of auditions. Can you guess which panto? It has music, fun, laughter, goodies and baddies. Could be any traditional panto then. Kirkintilloch Players is an amateur drama company and a Scottish charity, SC002574, regulated by the Scottish Charity Regulator, OSCR. www.kirkintillochplayers.co.uk. Kirkintilloch Rotary. One of our up-and-coming events will be in October to celebrate World Polio Day on Tuesday the 24th, when, in conjunction with Grace, we will be planting 2,000 crocus bulbs to celebrate the Purple Pinky inoculation campaign. The reason for the title is that many children who receive the sugary vaccine drop like it so much, they rejoin the queue for more, so to avoid that they were given a badge of a temporarily dyed purple finger. There is a tranquility garden at the community centre at Hillhead, and Grace and Rotary volunteers aim to plant these lovely flowers to celebrate all these children saved or about to be saved from this terrible disease. All are welcome to our weekly Rotary meetings on Tuesday evenings at 6pm in the Kirkintilloch Golf Club. Later this month, the author Jenny Brannigan will be speaking about his latest book, 12 Remarkable Scots. The Greens are making a difference. Holyrood View with Ross Greer MSP. The real measure of success in politics isn't how many votes you get, it's the difference you make for people and the planet. That's how the Scottish Greens approach things, at least. One of the clearest examples of our impact has been free bus travel for young people. Over 10,000 young people in East Dunbartonshire have benefited from over 600,000 free journeys since our scheme launched. One of the Scottish Greens' other major priorities was to support renters. For too many years now, it's been easy for private landlords to exploit their tenants with unfair rent hikes and sudden evictions. Scottish tenants had among the lowest protections in Europe. As Minister for Tenants' Rights, our co-leader Patrick Harvey has brought in a rent freeze, followed by a rent cap in the private sector, as well as far stronger protections from evictions. Our government has also delivered a new Scottish child payment of £25 per week. Latest figures show that the families of 3,165 children in East Dunbartonshire are now receiving the payments. Nationally, this is lifting 50,000 children out of poverty. And, while other parties snipe from the sidelines, we are taking ambitious action to tackle the climate crisis. Last month, Patrick opened a new wind farm in North Lanarkshire, which will power 30,000 homes. The changes we have made to planning policy have allowed the onshore wind sector to really take off. This will create thousands of quality jobs, and we're doing more than ever to protect and restore Scotland's wonderful natural environment. Our other co-leader and Government Minister Lorna Slater is delivering a nature restoration fund, which has supported projects and created jobs all over Scotland, most recently giving £500,000 to our national parks to support their vital work protecting wildlife and habitats. Sadly, Labour and the Tories are ditching and U-turning on their own policies to tackle the climate crisis and child poverty, while simultaneously demanding that the Scottish Government does more with its reduced budgets. That's politics as a cynical game, with no sincere interest in protecting people or the planet. I'm proud that, in contrast, the Scottish Greens in government are making a significant impact, exactly as we were elected to do. And that was a Holyrood View by Ross Greer MSP. Celebrating Beatrice Clugson. The Ramblers and Sir Optimus highlight the contributions made by Victorian philanthropist Beatrice Clugson. The Ramblers and Sir Optimus are leading a guided walk to commemorate the life and works of Beatrice Clugson, founder of Lensley Convalescent Home and Broomhill Hospital, on Saturday, September the 16th. The walk will leave from the south side of Lensley Station at 10 a.m. Join us for an 11-kilometre, 7-mile walk, visiting locations associated with Beatrice Clugson, mostly on well-made paths in Lensley and Kirkintilloch, starting and finishing at Lensley Station. Further details on Strathclyde Ramblers website or from the 07732 592 544. All welcome.
Public notices. Planning notices. East Dunbartonshire Council public notices. The East Dunbartonshire Council, Christen Road, Fald Head, temporary closure, Order 2023. On the 12th of September 2023, the East Dunbartonshire Council made the above named order under Section 14(1) of the Road Traffic Regulation Act 1984 as amended, which makes it unlawful for any person to drive or cause or permit to be driven any motor vehicle, with the exception of vehicles engaged in the works and those vehicles requiring access to properties and land adjacent to the closed section of road when it's safe and practical to do so, and the access shall be way of Suckyhall Road and Muckcroft Road at the southeast end of the closure on Christen Road, Fald Head, between its junctions with Market Road, Kirkintilloch, and Suckyhall Road, Muckcroft Road, by reason of works being executed on or near this road. This order will operate from 9:30 a.m. on Monday the 18th of September 2023 until 6 p.m. on Sunday the 22nd of September 2024. Alternative route. The alternative route for vehicles by way of Suckyhall Road, Gartshore Road, Mullins Road, the B8048 Waterside Road, Market Road, Kirkintilloch, Calfmuir Road and Muckcroft Road, and these routes will be signposted. Karen Donnelly, Chief Solicitor and Monitoring Officer, Legal and Regulatory Services, East Dunbartonshire Council, 12 Strathkelvin Place, Kirkintilloch, G66 1TJ. Civic Government Scotland Act 1982. Application for temporary public entertainment licence. The undernoted has applied for the grant of a temporary public entertainment licence in terms of the above Act. Name and address of applicant: Lindsay Rugby Football Club, 15 Viewfield Avenue, Lindsay, G66 4RB. Day-to-day manager: Graham Wilson, 37 Newton Road, Lindsay, G66 5LS. Type of entertainment: family fireworks event with children's fairground and snack vans. Days and times of operation: 6 p.m. on Friday the 3rd of November 2023 to 1 a.m. on Saturday the 4th of November 2023. Any objections or representations in terms of paragraph 3 brackets 1 of Schedule 1 of the Act should be logged with the undernoted no later than 28 days from the publication date of the newspaper in which this advertisement appears. Deputy Chief Executive, Education, People and Business, East Dunbartonshire Council, 12 Strathkelvin Place, Kirkintilloch, G66 1TJ. Members' surgeries. Councillors' arrangements for interviewing residents. Ward 5, Bishopbriggs South, Councillor Gordon Lowe. 16th of September 2023, Bishopbriggs Academy, 10 a.m. until 10:45 a.m. 16th of September 2023, Bishopbriggs Library and Community Hub, 11:15 a.m. until 12 noon. 16th of September 2023, Auchinairn CE Centre, 12:30 p.m. to 1:15 p.m. Ward 7, Kirkintilloch East and North and Twicker, Pamela Marshall. 16th of September 2023, Kirkintilloch Hub, Room 1, 10 a.m. until 10:45 a.m. 16th of September 2023, Hillhead Community Centre, Room 1, 11:15 a.m. until 12 noon. 16th of September 2023, Twicker Healthy Living Centre, 12:15 p.m. until 1 p.m. Ward 7, Kirkintilloch East and North and Twicker, Councillor Stuart MacDonald. 20th of September 2023, Twicker Healthy Living Centre, 5:30 p.m. until 6 p.m. 20th of September 2023, Hillhead Community Centre, 6:15 p.m. until 6:45 p.m. Ward 7, Kirkintilloch East and North and Twicker, Councillor Susan Murray. 20th of September 2023, The Hub William Patrick Library, Room 1, 6 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. Between surgeries, councillors can be contacted at the Members Support Unit on 0300 1234510. That phone number again is 0300 1234510. City are through to next round. An article written by Brian Yule and read by me, Corey. Glasgow City are through to the second qualifying round of the UEFA Women's Champions League after a successful trip to Lithuania. City came out on top as Gintra hosted 4-team mini-tournament that also featured Shelbourne and Cardiff City. First up for City was a 2-0 win over Shelbourne in the semi-final last midweek. They took the lead on 54 minutes as Kinga Kozak won possession and set up Brenna Lavera to charge into the box and stab the ball past Amanda McQuillan. It was 2-0 9 minutes later as Lauren Davidson scored her first European goal with a shot from a narrow angle that took a deflection. This set up a meeting with the hosts who saw off Cardiff by the same scoreline in the other semi-final. It took less than 60 seconds for City to take the lead as Lavera turned in Corey Sylvan's cross from 6 yards out. Kezzy Weir scored her first goal for the club just shy of the half-hour mark, as she flicked in a Maddie Fulton corner. City sealed their place in the next round on the 67th minute, as Davidson fired home from the edge of the box. Following the Gentra win, head coach Leanne Ross told the club's media team, "I was really pleased with the way we started. Obviously, getting the goal in the first minute really settled us down. The pitch isn't the best condition, but once we got to grips with that, we controlled the game from start to finish. This club wants to compete at the very top level, so the aim of this week was to come out here and get ourselves through to the second round. Now we just need to wait and see who we get in the second round, and hopefully it is a favourable draw for us." The draw will be taking place on Friday, with the ties due to be played in October to decide the last 12 group spots in the competition. City return to action in the SWPL1 tonight, Wednesday, as they are away to Hamilton Accies and then host Dundee United on Sunday. That article was written by Brian Yule and read by me, Corey. Tarasenko shows great form on Tigers' debut. An article written by Phil Lanning and read by me, Corey. Russian rider Vadim Tarasenko made a stunning debut as Glasgow Tigers won 51-39 at home to Oxford Cheetahs on Friday night. The result meant that Poole topped the championship table with Oxford second, as the Pirates were given the choice of opponents in the playoff groups. The home fans were left raving about new signing Tarasenko after he only dropped 1 point in his Ashfield bout. Team boss Cammy Brown said, "It was a fabulous win over a very tough Oxford team. All the boys really delivered when it mattered. But naturally everyone is going to be talking about Vadim. It was possibly one of the best debuts we've seen at Ashfield. Hopefully that continues through the playoffs, and he can push us to where we want to be." Tarasenko grabbed another 10 points as Tigers beat Redcar Bears in the final match of the regular season on Sunday. Tigers were winning 39-33 when the meeting was abandoned due to rain on Teesside. However, the result stood, and Brown was delighted to get the win against their playoff rivals. He said, "It was definitely the perfect boost for all the boys. Redcar are a good side, and it's a good win. I think we would have got the results if the meeting had gone the full 15 heats. Over the next couple of weeks, we face Redcar again in the playoffs, so we know we can get a result here. We weren't at full strength without Klaus Vissing, so I believe we can be even stronger." Richard Lawson and Jack Smith came in as guests and did a terrific job for us. Obviously, Redcar are likely to be a much tougher nut to crack, and they will be right up for it when it comes to the playoffs. But I'm super confident in this side. We've got so much top-end strength now. After finishing third in the league, Tigers are in Group B of the playoffs alongside Oxford and Redcar. They face both sides home and away and start with a trip to Cheetahs tonight, Wednesday, before hosting Bears on Tuesday. Brown said, "Oxford are super strong, as are Poole, Redcar, and we can't discount the other two teams. It's going to be a very hard end to the season." That article was written by Phil Lanning and read by me, Corey. Ashfield boss is disappointed side didn't take chances. Ashfield suffered their heaviest defeat for a number of years on Saturday, as they went down 5-1 at home to Drumchapel United in the WOS First Division. However, the scoreline did not tell the full story, as Connor Brenham pulled it back to 2-1 before half-time, and this was how it remained until 7 minutes to go. Ashfield boss Michael Oliver told the club's YouTube channel, "Obviously I'm really disappointed with the result, but I don't think it was a 5-1 game. We were well in it for large spells against a very good Drumchapel team, but goals win games. The difference was Drumchapel were clinical, and I think had we taken our chances, the scoreline would have been different. Petershill are just 2 points off the top of the table as they came from behind to win 2-1 away to Thornywood United. Fraser Stobie headed in from the corner to give the home side the lead before Ryan Thompson did likewise to equalise. The winner arrived 2 minutes from time, as the ball bobbed around the box and it fell nicely for Cameron McNeil to slot home. In the Premier Division, there was a 3-0 defeat to Kirkintilloch Rob Roy at home to Clydebank. Caledonian Locomotive lost 2-1 at home to league leaders Ardrossan Winton Rovers in the second division, with Conor McIntyre finding the net, with Glasgow Perthshire were beating 3-0 as they hosted St Anthony's. West Park United drew 3-3 as they held league leaders Bells Hill Athletic away from home in the third division, with Conor McCambridge grabbing a hat-trick. There was a comfortable 3-0 win for Rossvale in the fourth division at home to Saltcoats Victoria, as Stuart Anderson, Sean Grady and Mark Russell got the goals. Rossvale women won 4-0 win away to Westdyke in the Championship. Gemma McQuillan grabbed a brace with Lauren Coleman and Sarah McLeod also on target. Saturday fixtures: South Region Challenge Cup, brackets second, Thornton Hibs versus Rossvale, Albion Rovers versus West Park United, BSC Glasgow versus Cali Locos, Maryhill versus Petershill, Ashfield versus Oakley United, Easterhouse versus Rob Roy. Second Division: Glasgow University versus Glasgow Perthshire. Sunday fixture: SWFL West, West Park United versus Cumbernauld Colts.
That concludes this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our channels, tune, review, and to tell your friends about our service.